President William Ruto's grip of the Mount Kenya region faces a new test after a high-profile Statehouse meeting turned into an embarrassment. What was meant to be a show of unity and strength ahead of the 2027 elections instead exposed growing cracks between the head of state and leaders from the vote-rich region of Mount Kenya. The meeting, organized to bring together governors, members of parliament and key opinion shapers from the Mount Kenya region, was supposed to assure President William Ruto of continued support. Yet, the empty seats told a different story. Not a single Mount Kenya governor showed up, and more than 21 members of parliament stayed away, leaving Ruto with only a small circle of allies at his side.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. KIAMBU hoye! KIAMBU hoye!
Among those absent were some of the region's most influential county bosses: KIRINYAGA Governor Waiguru, MURANGA Governor KANGATA, KIAMBU Governor Kimani WAMATANGI, EMBU's Cecily MBARIRE, LAIKIPIA Governor, and NYANDARUA Governor were all missing in action. Their absence was loud enough to send a strong message to the president. These are leaders who have previously stood with Ruto and defended him in public, yet they did not find it important to attend such a crucial meeting.
Muko na hustle, lakini leo mumechukua muda wenu, mukaacha kazi zenu, mukaamua kunitembelea.
Several members of parliament also avoided the gathering, including some considered very close to former Deputy President Gashagwa. Among them were John METHU of NYANDARUA and George NGOYOYO, both seen as Gashagwa's key backers. Their decision to stay away only added weight to speculations that Ruto's political troubles in Mount Kenya are growing bigger every day.
Na mukakuwa wangwana, mukanipatia kura zenu, mukaniongezea maombi, tukapata nafasi ya kuunda serikali.
The absence of these leaders did not happen by coincidence. Just hours before the Statehouse meeting, Gashagwa appeared in a prime TV interview with a leading media house where he openly painted Ruto's administration as unpopular in the region. He claimed that the president had abandoned the promises made to Mount Kenya voters and ignored the concerns of the region since taking office. That interview seems to have set the tone for what happened at Statehouse.
And misappropriation of public funds. And that can only happen when William Ruto is one term. And for that to happen, we need to produce one candidate to face him. Kenyans will not forgive any one of us. Yeah?
For many political observers, the boycott by governors and MPs is a clear indication of how far Ruto's support has dwindled. In 2022, he swept the region almost entirely, enjoying overwhelming support from the ground and its leadership. But less than 3 years later, the unity he once enjoyed seems to be fading fast. The Statehouse meeting, instead of boosting Ruto's image, ended up exposing his political vulnerability. Those attended included National Assembly Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, a few loyal members of parliament, and a delegation ferried to the capital to make the meeting look full. It was not the powerful show of force Ruto might have hoped for, but rather a weak attempt to mask the glaring gaps left by the absent leaders.
Muko na ng'ombe, muko na chai, muko na kahawa, muko na hustle, lakini leo mumechukua muda wenu, mukaacha kazi zenu, mukaamua kunitembelea. Sindio?
For Mount Kenya politics, this is more than just missed attendance. It signals the region is slowly slipping away from Ruto's direct influence. The governors are powerful figures who control county politics and resources, while MPs shape opinion on the ground. Their refusal to show up means they are either distancing themselves from the president or aligning with other political forces, possibly Gashagwa's emerging camp.
If the government has decided to stop the one-term movement. They want to assassinate Gashagwa by using police in civilians and then blame it on goons, because I can see the pattern. What they have done, Yvonne, if you allow me, I have been attacked now 7 times. In November 2024, I was attacked by...
The bigger picture is the 2027 elections. Ruto knows that without the massive Mount Kenya vote bloc, his path to re-election becomes difficult. This is why he has been working overtime to patch up relationships in the region. But the lukewarm response from governors and MPs is proof that the ground is shifting. Whether he can reverse the trend remains to be seen.
Narudia tena kusema asante sana. Kia leo basi, mimi nimewaita hapa kwa shughuli ya muhimu sana. Na mimi nataka munisikize kwa makini. Tafadhali.
At the same time, Gashagwa's influence seems to be rising. Once Ruto's trusted deputy, he was pushed aside after a political fallout and has since positioned himself as the defender of Mount Kenya interests. His attacks on Ruto's administration resonate with many residents who feel the region has not benefited as much as promised. With each bold statement, Gashagwa appears to be gaining ground, while Ruto's silence and meetings like the one at Statehouse do little to reassure the region.
Once we reached Statehouse, William Ruto was no longer the same man we knew. The man changed. The man changed. And I can tell you for a fact, he changed. Before you were elected, he was in his home every week. Every week he was here taking tea up to midnight. Since he became president, he has never come back here. Even when we did not have issues for a year, we were quite free and friendly. He never came back here. He was too busy taking over.
Political analysts argue that the absence of Mount Kenya governors is especially damaging. Unlike MPs, who may shift with political tides, governors are harder to ignore. Their control of county politics means they can influence local voters in ways national leaders often cannot. For all of them to stay away from a presidential meeting shows their confidence in Ruto has declined. The message from the boycott is loud and clear. Ruto's dominance in Mount Kenya is no longer guaranteed. What was once his strongest political fortress is beginning to look shaky, and the empty chairs at Statehouse told the story better than words ever could.
Asante sana. Thank you very much. KIAMBU hoye! KIAMBU hoye!
As the 2027 race draws closer, the president will have to do more than host hurried meetings to win back the trust of Mount Kenya leaders and voters. For now, it is clear that the battle for the mountain is far from over, and Gashagwa has managed to plant himself right at the center of it.
And when we get to the real business, I'll tell you how William Ruto has captured the state. So he could not agree to have a commission for state capture because he intended to do it himself. And he has perfected it and actually overdone it to a point that the country is almost crumbling, you know, to a point where now children cannot go to school because there is no money for capitation, to a point where people now are paying money to ghost hospitals, to a point where public money is being stolen and given to the deputy president to go and bribe people in broad daylight without being ashamed. You know what is